In Fallout, robots are everywhere. Mr. Handy units still clean abandoned homes. Protectrons still patrol empty malls. Sentry Bots still guard military checkpoints that no one has visited in centuries. Yet somehow, many of them are still functioning over 200 years after the Great War, which really shouldn't be possible, because even in real life, machines constantly fail, batteries die, parts wear out, software breaks. Yet in Fallout, entire robots continue operating almost normally long after civilization collapse. Codsworth survives over 200 years completely alone in Sanctuary. Mr. Handy at the General Atomics Galleria still tries to run the shopping center like nothing happened, and deep inside old military bases, combat robots still patrol hallways, waiting for enemies that will never return, almost like the world never ended for them. Before the bombs fell, America became obsessed with automation. Robots weren't rare technology anymore. They became part of the everyday life. Protectrons guarded stores and banks. Mr. Handy units cooked meals and cleaned homes. Factories became increasingly automated, and companies like General Atomics International pushed robotics further every year. But Fallout's robots weren't just advanced by modern standards. Some were powered by compact fusion systems capable of operating for decades. Others could repair themselves, and certain robots began showing signs of something even stranger: actual personality. Codsworth expresses grief, Curie develops curiosity, and characters throughout the series repeatedly treat certain robots almost like people, which means they weren't simple machines anymore. Pre-war humanity was creating something far more advanced. Unlike almost everything in Fallout, war accelerated technology even further. The resource wars pushed the United States into massive military expansion, which meant combat robotics became extremely important. Sentry Bots were designed like walking tanks. Assaultrons were built for high speed and efficiency. Robobrains literally used humans' brains to increase processing power. And military robots needed to survive extreme conditions. Heavy armor, advanced targeting systems, integrated weapons. Everything was designed for long-term conflict, which explains why so many military robots are still active centuries later. At locations like Fort Hagen and the Commonwealth Provisional Ruins, many machines never stopped carrying out their final orders, even after people giving those orders disappeared. But realistically, none of these should work. Machines constantly degrade in real life. Circuits corrode, metal weakens, power systems eventually fail, especially after 200 years without proper maintenance. Yet throughout Fallout, robots continue operating almost perfectly. Some still patrol old military facilities, others continue serving customers inside ruined restaurants, and certain robots endlessly repeat the same routines forever, cleaning empty houses, serving food to people who no longer exist, welcoming visitors into buildings filled with corpses, which makes Fallout's robots feel strangely unsettling, because they aren't simply broken machines, they're pieces of the old war trapped in time, still performing tasks for a civilization that died centuries ago. And that's what makes Fallout's robots so memorable. They're not just futuristic technology, they're reminders of the old world refusing to disappear. Codsworth still tries to maintain a normal household, despite the entire neighborhood being destroyed. The robots inside the Sierra Madre continue operating luxury services in a city full of death. And throughout the wasteland, machines continue speaking cheerfully while surrounded by ruins, which creates one of the creepiest feelings in Fallout. The war ended everything. Human civilizations collapsed, entire governments disappeared. But the machines kept going, almost like they inherited the world humanity destroyed. And Fallout also hints at something even stranger, because some robots seem genuinely self-aware. Codsworth experiences loneliness. Curie questions her own existence. Certain Robobrains become unstable after retaining fragments of human memory. And characters throughout the series repeatedly blur the line between programming and consciousness, which raises a huge question. At what point does a machine stop being just a machine? Because some Fallout robots don't even feel artificial anymore. They feel alive. And honestly, certain robots in the series often seem more human than the people around them. And maybe that's the real reason Fallout's robots are so unsettling. Because they represent humanity, trying to automate everything, control everything, build systems capable of lasting forever. And in some ways, they succeeded. The people who created those machines are gone. The governments collapsed, cities became ruins, but the robots still remain, still functioning, still obeying, still surviving. Almost like humanity created something capable of outliving humanity itself. Because in Fallout, human civilization ended centuries ago, but the machines never stopped running. And after 200 years, some of them still haven't realized the war is over.